for another market update featuring Ryan Meeks.
Hey everyone, it's April 14th, 2021, and I'm back for a market update. I know it's been a while, some of you have missed me, and everything's kind of been doing the same thing it's been doing, so I haven't really felt the need to give an update, but here we are, it's the middle of April, so why not? Let's do a market update here, and I made this all on Canva, so used Canva for this, so pardon my what looks like a first grader's project here, but this is going to be interesting. So let's go through it. There's some awesome stuff I want to tell you guys about here. So slide number 2. All right, a lot of info here. I'm not sure what's going on up here, but really what I look at every day on a daily basis, and this is like the Realtor's Bible, is the Cromford Report. And you can only subscribe to it if you are a realtor. And I look at this on a daily basis. I sit through a lot of classes with people that are a lot smarter than me. We're going to take a look at the Cromford Demand Index and the Cromford Supply Index. So the Cromford Report is something that realtors look at. You have access to it. It's a paid monthly subscription, but basically it consists of mathematicians that are a lot smarter than realtors and can put numbers together and honestly predict where housing prices are going to go and give you as a consumer a little bit of a idea whether it's a good time to buy or if it's a good time to hold or if it's a good time to just sit out of the market. So the first thing we're going to look at here in the green is the demand index. So if we are, let's see, basically if the value is below 100, it indicates less demand than usual. And if you look over to where we're at today, you can see that we are 11% above normal. So it's probably got a rating of 111. And then the supply, kind of the same thing. You can read through these in a rerun if you want. But right now, supply is 78% below normal. So that's why you're seeing these prices shoot up, and because demand is still pretty decent and supply is 78% below normal. So while there is a slightly above normal demand, supply is low once again. Here's what happened with COVID. Demand came down, supply kind of went back to normal or was creeping towards normal, and then people were like, wait a minute, let's go back to getting crazy. So that's what happened here. And if you go back to like right here, you can see in April of 2005, kind of had a similar market that we're in now where demand was higher than supply. And then that switched here. And it wasn't until all the way in November of 2007 that we had this crash. So, I mean, if you're looking at this for a future indication of where prices are going to go, as you can see, supply is really high here, and then demand is really low over here. So you should have been able to get an idea that, hey, prices, while they went up, are probably going to crash. And sure enough, that's what happened. And if you look over here, you can see that indication was from, where are we at here? Basically, November of 2006, it looks like. And if we go to 2006 here, you can kind of see that prices slowly crept down and then boom, went all the way down through basically March of 2009 and then fell a little bit further even in 2011 and then came back up. So this is a great indicator. It's the Cromford Demand Index and the Cromford Supply Index. And then I'm going to give you one even better here. We're going to go to the next slide. And this is the Cromford Market Index. So this is another let's call it algorithm, let's call it a formula that they come up with, and it's basically kind of the same idea where it's got values below 100 indicate a buyer's market and values above 100 indicate a seller's market. And you can see this is basically going to be 100 right here, and this is used as a predictor of future annual price appreciation. So if we're looking at the Cromford Index here, in the blue, this is the percentage appreciation for that particular month, basically. So we see the Cromford Market Index kind of heading up here. Oh, I skipped. We see it heading up here, and we see this price still rising, and then it starts to fall. But even though it's falling, you still have an appreciation, And even when the index goes below 100 here, you can see that it's still appreciating, and then boom, it kind of switches right here. So this is where you get prices decreasing, and then we stay underneath the value of 100 here, and then this is where we see prices fall really, really bad. So it's a great tool to use if you're investing, if you're a long-term investor, or if you're just buying a house in general and you want to see, hey, maybe I should, should I purchase a house now? Is it a good idea? So using what we've learned here, let's go over here and look at where we're at right now. So right now, the Cromford Market Index, as of April 2021, is at 503. So it's way up here. And you can see prices are appreciating, but they're actually not appreciating as fast as they did back in 2005 here. So kind of interesting. But I mean, do you want to jump on this wagon, or do you want to wait really till this comes all the way down here, and then okay, I'm gonna buy right here, and then you're just gonna have the price continue to fall? I mean, let's say that was the scenario. I mean, that was kind of a crazy time we had back then with some loans being given that shouldn't have been given. But if you want to wait for this to come and buy right here and just have it fall, I mean, feel free. So definitely great time to purchase right now. I think, if you're going to get into the market, get in, because it's very strong based on the supply and demand figures that we have seen in the past slide and in this slide. So it's definitely been a great indication of where price is going. On to the next slide. So this is the monthly average sales price per square foot. And as you can see right here, it's balanced, and then basically once again we had a seller's market. And when's a great time to buy in a seller's market? Because the price is going up. And then boom, we switch to a buyer's market, the price comes down. We have some balance here. We have another seller's market in 2011 to 2013, 2014 some balance, and pretty much right now we are in a seller's market. So when is this going to come down? Who knows? But based on the previous indicators, not anytime soon. So buyers and sellers always want to be operating in a seller's market or a balanced market. Buyers markets aren't the best time to buy. No one likes to purchase a property at the peak of price and watch the values decline. I know I don't. So why do we have a housing shortage? Well, back in the 2000s, you can see here, we had housing units kind of growing faster than our population. So population was really not growing too fast. However, we were building a bunch of houses to, supply those people we thought were going to be coming. And then, that didn't happen. And then if you look 2010, 11, 12, population kind of was higher than the housing units. So that's when people were getting great deals and purchasing a lot of homes. And then obviously that trend has increased, and now we have more population than housing units. And if you look at the next slide, that kind of tells you what I'm talking about here. So in 2000 to 2010, we had a 28% increase in population and only a 34% increase in housing, or I'm sorry, a 34% increase in housing, which is more than the 28%. And then flip-flop that scenario here. So 2010 to 2019, we have an 18% increase in population and only a 9% increase in housing. So we have this sort of influx of people coming, and that's definitely creating a housing shortage. And told you. So that's what's going on with that. And that's in Phoenix here. That's Maricopa and Pinal County, the two large areas here in Arizona. So who's coming into the area? Well, this is kind of interesting, and it's provided by United Van Lines, because there's really not a migration report besides moving companies that have data. So you can see here, income people with $100,000 or more make up 63%. And then, and this is, what they're making per year. And you can see reasons for moving: retirement or job. Lifestyle, family are pretty popular still. Some people even for their health. But look at this age range. So you have 55 and older make up 70% of who's coming here. So definitely getting a lot of older folks. And I've been selling some 55 plus communities lately and doing some 55 plus videos. So that's really exciting. I'm just seeing if my mic is still on here. Looks like it is. And yeah, so that's cool. Housing income. So I just thought this is kind of a good chart to see where's the dough, and the dough, I mean the money. So if you look at, basically this is $200,000 or more. So this is the highest concentrations are going to be the darkest colors. So just to show you guys, this is like Ahwatukee area right here. It's called Ahwatukee. Pretty expensive homes down there. Sits at the foothills of South Mountain. And then on the other side of that mountain too, I think what's called gentrification is going on. There's some really nice communities that are being built up right here. You can see Chandler, Gilbert area. We got some blues going on in there. And this is going to be like Northeast Mesa up over here, and some parts of Mesa right here, kind of by Falcon Field. A lot of beautiful homes there. So this is Paradise Valley right here, and this is kind of, they call it the Beverly Hills of Phoenix. So that area right here, and then you have Scottsdale, and this is really North Scottsdale, all right here. These are the beautiful views of the McDowell Mountains. Some really, really nice areas over here. So, and then Fountain Hills is kind of around here. Showing a little bit of data there, but another very, very wealthy area. So you can see where the money's at. And yeah, Gilbert and Chandler are turning more blue recently. That's sort of a recent past couple years thing. So very interesting to see. On to the next slide. So Cromford Market Index, remember that market index we were kind of talking about? So just want to show you kind of the difference between, so here's Gilbert in the light maroon red here, and then Queen Creek. I like to compare those two. So Gilbert's kind of coming off a little bit more than Queen Creek, and then Scottsdale's coming off as well, and then Paradise Valley and Fountain Hills. So Fountain Hills is, you know, luxury, and then Paradise Valley I kind of consider luxury as well. So Fountain Hills has actually been going up, and Fountain Hills has an older demographic. So remember we said that the 55 plus was coming here. So maybe that's why this index is still going up. And Paradise Valley is, you know, the luxury market, and that's been doing very well here lately. So something to know. Gilbert versus Queen Creek, monthly median sales price. So one thing to keep in mind, and I just recently learned this, so yay for me. Average price is always going to be higher because you're going to get, you know, there's obviously like $2 and $3 million homes and stuff, and $1 million homes. So those are going to have more of an impact. So if you're trying to figure out if you can afford to live here, look at the median sales price. And in this case, it's going to be $460 in Gilbert and $355 in Queen Creek. And then here's the graphs of how that median sales price has kind of jumped up here over the past few years. So it's really, really gone up, especially in 2020. On to the next one. Crazy crap in the market. Let's just say it. So crazy crap in the market. What's going on here? So this particular property was purchased for $825 in 2013, resold for almost 3 in December of 2019. That was $37,500 over asking, and then listed a couple of weeks ago for 1.5, and it closed for 1.7 last Friday. So it rose by $412,000 in just 16 months, or $26,000 a month on that investment. It also went under contract after just 3 days. So $26,000 a month on a house. That is pretty crazy. So yeah, hopefully you guys can get into something like that and do the same thing. So this property was purchased about a year ago, $520, listed 3 weeks ago at $675, went under contract 810. Contract or inspection period reduced to 5 days. $38,000 earnest becomes non-refundable after inspection period. It was built by Taylor Morrison for $380 in 2014. So another crazy thing in the market. Oh boy. Property is coming soon. Went under contract within 24 hours at $620. Fully waived appraisal. They're becoming commonplace today for sure. So that's something that's kind of crazy. And then let's see what else. Yeah, I mean, I've shared experiences like that, and I have some experiences like that. So at the end of the day, people are still saying demand is extremely strong. They're wrong. It's nothing special, only 10% above normal, and it's falling. The supply situation's really what's keeping prices up, and it's important because demand can dry up quite quickly. However, increasing supply can take quite a long time unless huge number of homes are already vacant, as was the case in 2005. Homes lying vacant in the greater Phoenix area are unusual today, so any increases in supply are likely to be gradual. And with all the craziness going on in the United States today, we have more and more people moving here, so get here while there's still a house to buy. I wanted to leave you guys with one thought here. I hear all these realtors that do market updates, and they use, the Cromford Report and other things like that here in Phoenix, and they keep saying to sell. Now's a great time to sell. I mean, it's a great time to sell, yeah, but you're going to have multiple offers, but then once you sell your house, it's still going to go up in value. So it's a great time to sell, but make sure that you're rolling it into something and that you are able to purchase something, because you may sell your house and then go to buy, and you're going to really be paying over like that person who bought your house. Then if you get locked out of the market, or if things shoot up too quickly, you might get screwed. So not really. I mean, I would say hold right now. Hold. And I'll let you guys know when I think the top is going to come. And not that it's the end-all be-all, but I keep track of these numbers, and these numbers haven't lied in the past. And I really think, just be patient. You don't have to sell right now. My thoughts. But definitely buy. Hey, if you want to buy something, go out there and buy it, because you're going to make some money.